Hey, welcome back to another episode of Wrenching on Junk. This episode, figuring out the four-wheel drive issue that I got going on with the Plier Sportsman 500 high output. You remember the previous video I put out there? I replaced all the fluids in here, hoping that would solve the problem I had with my front wheels not engaging when I turned the four-wheel drive on. Did the fluids. Took it out for a test run. It was getting front right, I believe, and not front left. I can't remember one of them. 3 wheels were spinning instead of 4. Okay. So this has the rack on it normally. You can see in the previous video there. And then I took this fairing off and I could see just a rat's nest, mouse nest in there. And sure enough, there was some wires chewed. So what I ended up doing is, just to get easy access here, took the rack off and got that fairing off, and then had a good look in here, and I'll show you what I found. And so hopefully you can see okay here. There's 2 wires coming down. You can see we got a white plug and a black plug, and they're all kind of looped in together up here. You can see this, there's 4 that come down into the black, 4, and then 2 split off and go to the white. So that was leading me to believe that that was the four-wheel drive switch. One of these wasn't completely chewed through. I believe it was this one in the back here, the black one. And I got the voltmeter out and put the voltmeter on here and turned the four-wheel drive switch on the handlebars. And I was getting voltage from the stripped wire. So that was telling me, okay, this is definitely the four-wheel drive. So these were severed completely, and this line was buried quite far down. So I had a hard time finding it, and I was starting to get a little worried, thinking that this was going to be worse than just connecting a couple wires, but I found it and then reconnected wires. So I'm going to take this out and do a little test run and see if I'm getting all 4 wheels spinning now. And as you can see, I just slapped together a little bit of electrical tape here, and then of course ran out of electrical tape. You know, I needed 3 inches and I had 1.5 inches, and I had to switch over to good old hockey tape here, see if that works. It should. Pretty easy to test the four-wheel drive in the winter. Just drive to a snowbank. Check. Check. There we go. Four-wheel drive again. Alright guys, so we had a successful test run on the Sportsman. We got all 4 wheels spinning now. Last thing to do is put these fairings back on our front grille and button everything up, and this is a job complete. So I'll finish that up now. Once I get the front fairing and the rack back on, that's job complete. It's another simple job. You know, going into it, I knew I had a problem. One of the tires wasn't spinning. And you just got to dig into it and try and figure out where the problem is. And for me, it was that simple wire that a mouse ate through, and that's pretty common out here in the country. It's getting mice living in things and chewing through wires. So don't be afraid to step up and try and attack some of these problems yourself. You know, if I had brought this to a shop, they probably would have charged me to try and rerun a whole wiring harness. Or at least those wires that run from the switch all the way down to the wheel, where I just easily spliced them back together. So I probably ended up saving, I don't know, like I can ballpark it. I mean, just to take it into the shop, it's a pain in the butt, you know. I'll estimate like maybe $150, $200 that I ended up saving in not taking this to the shop and just kind of systematically going through the problem myself. Hey, thanks for checking out another episode of Wrenching on Junk. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks.